Okay, so this is going to be a video on handhelds and the cleaning and maintenance of them, as well as tips and how to use them. I'm going to be really covering cleaning and maintenance because that's what's going to keep these things lasting as long as they can. Okay, so I have two handhelds here, but I need to show you a specific part of right here, as well as what it should look like when it's done. Okay, so cleaning. Let's jump to that. Now, let's say you finished what you've sprayed, and now it's time to clean. There's two ways. Okay, so if you have a sink, what you can do is take the cup right off. Take this filter right off. There's going to be a lot of paint in here, so that's why we're going to take this filter off and clean it. And we're going to take the tip out. We're going to clean this cup separately in the sink, and then we're going to use this handheld in such a way that we're not going to, work so hard to clean it. So you turn on your faucet, you use your hand as a channel, and you just channel all the water into here and pull the trigger so that it comes out clear from the front. But, and don't forget this, there's still one part of the machine where you must force water to come out clear as well. And it's going to be this little hole. Alright, this is like your prime line to these machines, or your prime hose. What it's going to do is shoot out paint, and then it's going to come out clear. So you're just going to alternate. Shoot it out, come out clear. Shoot it out here, have it come out clear. And you're going to keep doing that until both ends are clear. Now, if you don't have a sink, what you're just going to have to do is keep filling this like a certain, like halfway, and then again, shoot it out clear, and then have that come out clear. Then you'll replace the water because it's going to shoot dirty paint or dirty water into this. So you clean that, put the clean water in halfway, shoot, and have it clear. Once both points are clear, then you're going to get your pump armor, okay? Assuming your cup's clean, what you're going to do is, your pump armor is this stuff. Okay, what it's going to do is prevent drying, rusting, and freezing. Specifically drying, because I'll show you this afterwards. This is just a broken pump. I'm going to show you something with that. But when you're done cleaning, what you're going to do is you're only going to fill the pump armor up to here, just 1 inch high. Use this as a guide. You're going to compress the bag, you're going to prime it, and then you're going to flip it this way and then shoot it. What that means is that the pump armor is in the pump and there's no chance for paint to dry. Because if the paint does dry, and if I can show you. Okay, so what we're looking at is the inside of the pump. Okay, now I don't have access to this without breaking it, so I did have to break this off. Now what we're looking at is not the big hole in the middle. That's where the piston rods would be. What we're looking for, or looking at, is going to be these rectangular holes right here. Right there. You see right over here? It's so tiny, I don't even think you can see it, but it's there. It's so tiny, it's like half the width of a grain of rice. You see? That's where it's going to clog. And it's going to clog in less than 4 months if you do not do the pump armor trick. So, please, I say it like this does not leave your hand until it's cleaned and maintained. And yeah, if you do that, this thing will last long. But the pump armor is a trick in how you store it. There's going to be the Graco way, where they just tell you to flip the machine upside down, put a couple squirts, and that's it. I don't like that idea. I don't like air in my pumps. I like the pump fully filled with the pump armor. That way nothing will dry. If you can see it once again, I'm going to scare you. In fact, if you can imagine this whole video with thunder behind my voice, please clean your machines. Okay, so that's that part. Tips. Okay, I'm going to try to do this with one hand. What I'm going to be covering is the tip seals. Okay, so what the tip seal is, it comes with every tip. Now you don't have to throw them away or change them every time, but keep them. Only change them when it starts to kind of leak between these threads, because that means that little black seal right in the middle, you can feel it more than you can see it, screws onto the front of the gun. And when it's screwed on nice and tight, that black seal is going to touch the front of this and make a sealed passage for the paint from the gun to the tip. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Now, to take them out, you're going to get your tip. Alright? And I'm going to try to do this with one hand. If not, then I'm going to switch to holding this with my chin. So you're going to get your tip, you're going to place it right in the middle, and you're going to pop that. Now, I'm going to put this on my chin, so... Oh, shit. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Let's try it like this then. Okay, I'm trying not to push any buttons so I can do this in one shot on my phone. So you're going to get your tip, put it right in there like so, and you're going to go like this. And the phone fell. Okay, so as it, you can see it popped it right out, right? You can take your tip out. Take your tip out. Now, depending on how dirty, you might need a screwdriver, but if it's, you can try that. Now, let's say you have to change the seal. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your tip, and let's get, like I said, I'm doing this with one hand, and you can see that there's a lip around that. So we're going to take this seal and put it on there. You see? It's on there. So you don't have to do a balancing act in your finger. So you're going to grab that, and you're going to stick... I can't do this with two hands or one hand. Okay, so you're going to get this and just put it in there, but you're going to make sure that this groove, you see how it's curved, matches with the groove in here. And there's a, so your tip can slide in. I wish I can do this, but just assume that I get it right. And then you're going to put that, you see it's in there. And then you're going to make sure that your tip can actually go in, so you know it's perfectly aligned. And I aligned it, but you know I'm kind of lucky on that. You just look from up here and make sure it curves. You can kind of see that it's all aligned. So that's how you take it out and put it in. Now here's the most important thing. These seals, okay, they come with them, as you can see. Now I want you to see something. You see the hole in the middle. And then you see that hole in the middle. You see this is bigger, right? You have to use this style with this tip and this style with this tip. What I mean is small hole for the greens, the low pressures, and big holes for the blues. Just think big blue, BB. And then process of elimination, you know, the small ones. You can also see the hole in the middle, through the tip. It's bigger, right? So that's another way. But you have to use this seal with this tip. Now there's only two types of seals. The small holes and big hole ones. And just give me a second here. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, I just had to help somebody. So forgive me where I stopped last at. I can't remember. So yeah, there's only two types of these seals, okay? Low pressure and regular pressure. So just keep that in mind. Now let's say you do this. This won't work properly. Alright, the first thing that's going to happen is it's going to force you to increase your pressure all the way to max. Okay? Whenever you get higher pressure, you'll get higher overspray. With overspray comes deficiencies and wasting of paint. And other little telltale signs is that yeah, you'll get your deficiencies, you'll waste paint, but you'll wear out your tip quicker because it's at a higher pressure. You'll make your machine work harder because you're making it work harder at just to achieve a higher pressure. And you'll get like a slight thinning of your fan because it has so much velocity, and you'll get these kind of bigger speckles of overspray. With this, if you do it like this, you'll get a line, okay? A streak of paint. But yeah. Now, with these machines, because these aren't plugged to the wall like these machines are, and it's running off a battery, this isn't the strongest beast in the world. So you have to give it an easy time and use the low pressure tips only with this. Now you can use low pressure tips and regular blue tips with these, but this one, because it only pushes out 2000 psi, because if you can read that right there, 2000 psi, you got to help it. So you got to use the pressure efficient, or I call it pressure efficient, but these are low pressure tips. You use it with this, and always keep in mind the seal once again. These blue ones, like I said, only for the electrics up there, and you can also use the green ones for there. But yeah, if you use a blue tip with this machine, it's gonna force you to increase the pressure to max, which is right here, and then you're gonna make your pump work harder, and it's gonna wear through it quicker. All right, so just keep that in mind. Is the tips. Now you probably won't have to change them as much, but let's say you have to, then you know now. It's always good to know, and it's always good to learn. Now, when you do clean this, I forgot, I don't know if I talked about this, but pull this filter out, because there's going to be a lot of crap in here, and clean it with your finger when you're doing the cleaning process. Sorry, I might have forgotten that. If I have, if I did actually talk about that in this part. So yeah, that's what I could say about these. I don't know if there's anything else I can cover. I just stress is does not leave your hands till it's cleaned and maintained. But yeah, you just got to figure out if you're gonna do it through a faucet or you got to do it the hard way, which is through here. But knowing that now, you won't have to take any risks, and you can keep this thing maintained as long as you can. If there's anything else I can say about this, then I will. Oh yeah, okay, so setting your pressure. Now this is a little bit different than, say, the pressure dial on there. This is more like a 1 to 9 speed or 1 to 10 speed, whereas that's a 0 to 3300 psi speed. But yeah, this is how you're going to set your pressure, because you can say, oh yeah, manual says 2000, but guess what? Temperature can make it so that you need less or more. Viscosity of paint may be different through sheens or product lines, whatever. So what you're really gonna do is, instead of asking what pressure am I gonna spray at, this is what you're gonna do. Just get the appropriate tip size so you know it can shoot out the nozzle, and then you're just gonna play with it a little bit. Set it to 3, okay? Get a piece of cardboard when you have the paint primed up and ready. Get a piece of cardboard and trigger it. If it gets lines, good. Now increase it a little bit. Maybe go up a number, and then trigger. Still not good? Go up a number, trigger. And you keep doing that till you got a nice solid fans with no lines or streaks. And then once you get to that point, that's the pressure you're stopping at. Same thing with this. You set it low enough so you get lines or streaks, increase it incrementally, and pull the trigger. And until you got that nice solid fan, you're going to keep doing that. And when you get it, you're good. Because the way I say it is like this. When your customer walks through the house, I know you guys are Vancouver Mural Festival, but when the customer walks through the house and looks at the finish, she's not going to ask you what pressure you sprayed at. She's just going to look at the finish. So you have to base it on the finish too. And like I said, at all times of the year, there's going to be different temperatures. So you might have to adjust as you go. And so that is very important. So yeah, clean your machines, maintain it with the pump armor. Make sure your tip is clean too. So I want to maybe suggest that once you got the pump armor in here and you're about to, you shot it out of here, making sure that it comes out the nozzle, stick your tip in there one more time and just shoot it out so you get that pump armor inside the barrel of the tip. That way, it's less likely to clog. Then what you can probably do is, when it gets the pump armor through it, just turn it sideways so it locks the pump armor inside that small passageway that's in there, and it won't clog. Now let's say your tips clog. I just had one customer tell me he threw away 12 tips because they were clogged. What you're going to do is you're going to get your acetone. You're going to leave it there for maybe an hour or two, maybe even overnight if you want. What you're going to do is you're going to grab your tip. If you can, shoot it out of there because it's nice and strong, but if you have to shoot it, you can try. So pull it out of the acetone. Have it so that it's shooting out the back end first, because that's the bigger piece. So as you can see, the arrow's pointing backwards as opposed, where you're shooting it. What's going to happen is it's going to shoot a big streak, and that won't clog it. Turn it around, shoot it this way. That way you can unclog your tips. I do that all the time with my some tips I find on the ground. They can be totally clogged, but then I just leave it in acetone, go to a big machine, pressure it up, and shoot it out the gun. And that's about it. What else can I say? Oh yes. So these are threads. You can unscrew the cup. If you get paint on the threads, please clean them, because the more you do that, the less it's going to seal, and the bag will come down, and then it's going to force you to turn it and squeeze it even, or tighten it even harder. If you see this black ring around here, that's a foam ring. If you screw it on too much, it's going to compress it. Then it won't make a seal. That's fine. These are $30 if you want to replace them, but it's always going to happen if you just tighten it too much. It's going to squeeze it and compress this O-ring right here. This little thing is your bleeder valve. Just make sure that there's no paint in there, because there's a little hole, and sometimes that gets clogged. So yeah, just be wary of paint that might get on the threads. Clean it off right away. If you can, get some Vaseline and put it on the threads. It will make a seal, and it will prevent paint from drying. You can put Vaseline on your skin, your face. If you're spraying, when the overspray hits your face or your skin that has the Vaseline on there, it won't dry. So that's what you can do with these threads, as well as where the cup meets the lid. You can put some Vaseline on there so it can make a better seal. But the last thing you want to do is like over tighten this to the point where it's compressing the seal. Okay, so that's the most important thing, is the cleaning and maintenance of it, and using the right tip for it, meaning green tips with the small hole seal, or the seal with the small hole. So yeah, keep it clean, maintain it, use the right tips, and that's as much as I can say. Yeah, if you do want to call me at the my phone number for my direct line at the Sherwin is 604-254-5162. My name is Francis. You can give me a call if you have any questions, or you feel that I missed out on something. But yeah. Now, if you do read the manual, which most people don't, this is not how Graco gets you to do it. I do it this way for a reason. I don't let air inside. There's no air in there. You see? Air in paint is no good. It will... Okay, if you ever get a can of zero VOC paint, I don't care from where, there's a good chance that there might be a film on the top of the lid inside the can. Now that's a sealed pump. The thing is, it has air in there. That's why it dries. And plus, the zero VOCs, they took the solvents out, so there's less, you can call them paint extenders. Now this product has propyl glycol in it. This is a paint extender. You'll find that in Floetrol. So this extends the dry time of the paint, right? But if you got air in there, it's not gonna help it. So Graco tells you to flip it upside down, put a couple squirts, shoot it out the gun, and that's it. Doesn't make sense to me. You do it this way. And I know, because I've had a lot of these come in, and I always get my customers to do this. I tried to break mine on purpose. The only time I broke it is when I didn't use this, the pump armor. I left painting this thing for 4 months. It wasn't clogged. Don't do that. Don't do that. But definitely use the pump armor. Please, please, please. Because, like I say, they're great, but only when they work. All right. Other times than that, if you don't clean them, you're just gonna feel like you wasted your money, your time, and your patience. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Those are the most important things: cleaning and maintenance, and using it the right way with the right tip and the right seal. Alright, oh, one other thing. Let's say you are using two style of tips for these machines. Just have one guard dedicated to your blues with the big hole, and one guard dedicated to your greens with a small hole in the seal. That way you don't have to keep popping them out. And like I said, you don't have to change them out, but keep them. You never know when you might need them. It saves buying a 5-pack at, like, you know, $20. And it's $20 if you catch me on a nice day. So yeah, please clean and maintain and use it the right way. And you know, if you ever have any questions, go to your local repair shop and have the first thing that comes out of your mouth: I want to learn, can you teach me? Because they will, dirty desk, sorry, they will be happy to teach you. I'm sure of it, because what it means is I see you back here for the right issues, not the wrong issues, you know, or the right reasons, not the wrong reasons, okay? So yeah, that's my video for today. I hope you enjoy it. If it was too much of an overload, you can just rewatch this video, maybe change the speed down to 5, or give me a call on the on my line at 604-254-5162. Okay, yeah, have a great day, and happy spraying.